Hello, so welcome back. Let's switch the scene. I am back again with another study session. Um, First off, I want to say I totally forgot to mention this last time, but thank you for the new subscribers that have been subscribing over the last few months. I didn't really thank you guys during the last video because I completely forgot. I ended up just mentioning what I was working on that day and new upcoming stuff that I had planned. With the last video, of course, we saw Mica Galvao versus Andrew Thackett. I thought it was a pretty interesting match, so I wanted to focus on Mica Galvao for this one as well. I've heard his name mentioned quite a lot of times, so I want to see what I can take from his jiu-jitsu and maybe try and apply it into my game and stuff like that. So hopefully, as you guys are watching this as well, you guys will be able to actually implement the stuff that you see on these videos, and hopefully have a good reference of what you can do to apply it to your game. Today's video is not brought to you by Sapporo. I'm just drinking it today because it's Saturday. But anyways, let's get into it. So once again, Mica Galvao, but this time he will be going up against Dante Leon. It's also another name I haven't heard too much about recently, so it's like the first time I'll be watching this match. It's another 15 minute match on who's number one. So it might take me another hour to actually go over this. So I'll try and make it more concise when we're actually doing this. But anyways, let's just get into it.
In terms of height and weight, but make no mistake, this is a banger, and our referee Steve.
So let's go back. 18, Dante 26, about the same height. I'm guessing this is the rank for the both of them and who's number one.
Even in terms of height and weight, but make no mistake, this is a banger, and our referee Steve Hodgett will get things underway here. 15-minute match.
So right away goes
Dante Leon with the red ankle band, Mica Galvao with the blue. You know, physically they match, they each other in terms of height, in terms of stature. They match, they resemble each other in terms of height, in terms of stature, and in terms of physicality. I would say that
like I was mentioning before, getting the inside tie on the neck becomes very, very important. We saw Mica there try and use that inside tie to get to maybe get a single leg. I think it happens around here. Let's slow it down a bit.
Physically,
there it goes. He used an inside trip as well at the same time, so that inside trip helps him direct Dante's right leg towards the outside, towards his left hand to pick it up. Also causes him to go off balance just a bit. They're at the end. They're at the edge of the mat here, so you can see the ref is gonna stop them there. Let's take it a little bit slower and see. Try and break it down a bit more.
No, physically.
There it is. He does it on the move forward too, which is really interesting. So as he's pulling Dante back, he takes that step, that cross step.
Physically.
Boom. There we go. and then you can see he has a easier time of trying to pick up that leg, because now a lot of weight is on that leg.
They match.
Dante just tries to get that leg away from him.
They resemble each other in terms of height, in terms of stature, and in terms of physicality. I would say that both men are known for their power, their speed.
Inside
very
thigh.
Physical grab.
Another thing you can do as well, you can see, I like to call this like a 50-50 position in the stand-up, where one person is either getting their arm over top of the person's bicep. Mica here has his hand underneath the tricep. You can do a lot of good like steering wheel motions that way. We'll see if he uses it to create a takedown.
Yes, both of them.
100%. We've spoken to what?
I think that was an outside.
More than one of Mica's past opponents.
Very physical grab.
Let's see that.
Both of them.
100%.
Oh yeah, still going for that inside trip on that left leg there.
Yeah, we spoke to more than one of Mica's past opponents, and they've all described him as one of the strongest athletes on earth. But look at that double leg from Dante to open things.
So you can see the disconnection here. As Mica is trying to like keep the same distance and be aggressive, this can lead somebody into throwing up, not really throwing up, but lead them into going for a single leg. A lot of Mica's weight is on that front foot now, making it very difficult to shift his weight back and sort of get away from that single leg there.
They've all described him as one of the strongest athletes on earth, but look at that double leg from Dante to open things up here.
Spears Galvao to them.
And then there we see like knee cut position. Mica has his right leg hooked underneath for the reverse Galvao, using his left shin right across the chest to create a frame.
Runs around to the side with his head out of danger of the guillotine that could await that takedown. And into this top position, that kind of takedown matters a lot, because that makes such an impression on the judge.
So headquarters works into knee cut because you're not so much driving off to one person's side. Here you can see Dante is like driving straight down, like in between the hips instead. This allows you to control the hips from side to side while the legs are a bit up in the air, making it a bit more difficult for someone to really close.
It's where you're able to throw your opponent, down to them.
Mica's trying to pull that left leg, Dante's left leg in, maybe going for a leg lock.
Matt.
Yeah, I think it makes an impression on Mica too, right?
And you can see Dante really making sure that Mica really doesn't get underneath that leg.
Time to take Dante's wrestling seriously. Mica's had a lot of success with his stand-up, but Dante was...
No. What Mica's doing in here is he's underhooking the ankle, so that means that the ankle is actually on top of his bicep in the crook of the elbow. His leg is actually still on the outside. It isn't hooking the leg anymore, but it becomes sort of an anchor for his hand to be. He still has like that inside hook with the right leg. I play this a little bit, but I'm interested to see what Mica's gonna try and go for. Whether he's gonna try to extend the leg, maybe by extending his own left leg and pulling his elbow back, or is he going to try and rotate around, like invert around to go for ankle locks?
Pretty candid in their press conference interview there, where
he shifted him off to the right side, so he shifted him off to his left side instead, creating a bunch of space with that inner thigh, the leg in between Dante's thighs.
Dante was pretty.
So let's see how he does that a bit slower.
And then there.
He grabs as soon as he feels. I guess he's feeling that the leg got a little bit lighter. He moves his shin from the right thigh to the left thigh, and he's gonna extend that way. As he does that, you can see he's trying to rotate that elbow around to make all of Dante's weight go on the left side, and his foot is now even on the knee. Normally, if you're underneath someone's hip, trying to push the knee out is going to be a lot easier than trying to push on the thigh, and even easier if you try and push on the ankle. The ankle is going to be a bit more dangerous because someone can kick out of it some of the times, but the knee tends to be more secure because you're not really going anywhere without your knee.
Press.
And then you can see there that extension. It's going to rotate. And there we go. He shifts now.
Interview there.
Nice.
There where he said he didn't think we could face the kind of power and wrestling that he possesses, and way to back that up there in that moment.
Intricate.
So I think I mentioned crab ride before. Crab ride is when you put both of your feet on the back of your opponent's knees while you're inverted. They can be like flat on their back, and you're like inverted trying to get towards their back. It could be a strong position as long as like you keep going for it.
Guard work there from Mica Galvao while they are still fresh, while they are still dry, in inverting in underneath Dante Leon and using the same grip and sequence here. If we can switch angles to get a good look at that, there we go. This
yeah, Dante notices that, so he's gonna drive that knee downwards now, so Mica can't get underneath the ankle anymore.
It's use of kind of the half-open guard in answer to Dante Leon's posture, the way that he has his one knee on the mat and his other slightly up. Dante Leon, he's going to have to be careful because Mica Galvao has submissions from everywhere. Upper body, lower body, limbs, neck, you name it.
So a lot of the problem comes from, at least in this position, comes from the person really betting all of their control on that lower part of the leg. If you can't get them off at least your ankle, it's going to be hard to actually start passing any type of guard or throwing up any attacks of your own from here.
He can catch a submission, so...
Ooh, what was that? What was that? So it looks like he kicks out that left leg again, Dante's left leg again. I don't see the grip he has on Dante's right leg, but I imagine it's not underneath. It's not in his elbow anymore. His upper body's too far away, it looks like.
Limbs.
So Dante initiates a back step, trying to make sure that Mica's right leg doesn't extend and kick out his thigh again.
Neck.
Mica reaches up towards the tricep.
You name it.
And then here comes.
He can catch a submission.
There it is. Okay. So it looks like I can't really see the grip from this angle, but I'm pretty sure he's just cupping the heel with just his hand. He's gonna use the extension of his left leg to work on the knee. So as he's extending this leg, he turns the heel back towards him, and that turns Dante's knee inwards. And then you can see the other leg is gonna go kick out that far knee again.
So
Oh, it doesn't kick out. He slides it underneath towards the ankle. Ooh, nice. I've seen Kyle Terra do something similar from here. So when he gets at that the ankle lock from this position, where his leg is over the leg that he's trying to ankle lock. And then Mica tries to sit up on his butt.
Galvao, he can come up, he can wrestle up as well, but I think Dante has to think safety first.
So yeah, he's betting on that control on that one leg.
He has to think posture, he has to think position
Underneath.
before he can start going forward, because Galvao is so good at snatching attacks in the transition.
Yeah, you get one mistake with Mica and the match is over. So Dante taking a measure.
So because that lock is there, there's no real reason to try and fight that lock, because Mica's really trying to bet all of his control on there. So the next best thing you can do is try to really control that standing, that free leg, so at least he doesn't use it to once again throw your balance off.
Approach now that he knows he's had a strong opening, but you have to believe that he would like to free his leg right now. Mica's done a good job of not ever letting go of Dante's right leg in various grips.
Nice, and then he transfers back over to Micael.
Sequences here, and as much as Dante's looking to pass, Mica's definitely looking to tie up.
See the guard of Mica Galvao, that kind of.
Dante's trying to overhook the neck just to make it harder for Mica to create distance. Especially in the half guard, you have to be able to control the distance the entire time. If Dante can actually reach around the head and everything, it's gonna make the guard, Mica's guard here a lot weaker, because then he can break Mica's posture. He can break his, he can start bending the spine and really take away all the strength that he has right now with his posture intact.
A little bit of knee shield.
Mica realizes this and tries to control that arm.
But a reverse.
And still framing across the neck there. Always good to frame across the neck, especially when you're in half guard. You can see he's not outstretching that arm, because he knows if he outstretches that arm, Dante can throw that arm across his body, and then he's in big trouble.
But the further forward that Leon is able to get his knee, it's he's still nowhere closer to getting the control of the upper body necessary to lock in that guard pass, but his hips and his legs are getting further forward, and that's progress. But I feel like Galvao is very relaxed in this position here.
Nice. No, he spins underneath. Cyborg does a lot of this stuff, like the tornado guard, going underneath to try and switch from attacking one leg to the other. So let's take that a bit slower. So Dante puts his leg up. Mica realizes this and tries to go underneath. The hand is going to be the main problem, so he releases the hand first.
Oh, is very rough.
Boom. Arm drag, you can see there, and then underneath.
Position here. Very
nice. So now he can go for heel hooks. I can't really see where he's grabbing on, but it looks like right behind the knee and cupping the back of the Achilles.
Oh, look at that transition for Mica. Mica.
Uses the inversion to come on top. Now let's see how he goes on the attack. Diving for the back on top.
Transition from me.
So let's take that a bit slower because I'm interested to see what happens here. So right now Mica can attack the leg. Dante realizes this, so he keeps turning to get this leg underneath that knee.
Oh, look at that transition.
Inverts, but this time inverting towards the outside.
For Mica.
So right there, they're in a more neutral position. I wouldn't exactly call this any type of guard. I think Dante's trying to establish a guard. You can see Mica holding on to that far leg, almost like deep overhook on that far ankle. Yeah. And then we see Dante trying to do the same thing towards him, get underneath the leg, trying to grab the far knee and maybe
Uses the inversion to come on top.
There we go. There's the inversion. Mica is doing a good job of pushing down on Dante's knee. So I think that's Dante's right knee. So that the inversion makes it a lot more difficult. So right there, he's trying to swim underneath. And Mica realizes this and really tries to dive for that back.
Let's see how.
And just like before in his match against Andrew Thackett, he has his arms trying to clamp around the hip of Dante.
He goes on the attack. Diving for the back.
Gets that one leg.
Dante Leon is trying to escape his hips.
Nice.
On the upper body goes Mica Galvao.
Nice. And here we see a high guard position or a high lock position. Okay. Here the main two dangers, well I guess three dangers now, are the arm bar, which Mica can do on Dante's right arm, and the triangle if Dante tries to pull that right arm out to protect it, going for the triangle right away. So you can see he's locked in there. Mica also has his right arm underneath the leg to try and take away Dante's space and making sure he can't actually posture up and try and get out.
Have the armbar here. Dante Leon.
He comes up.
Physically hoists Mica Galvao.
That takes quite a lot of strength, but it also uses a lot of strength to actually hold somebody there.
Oh, into the air, but he's not any danger. The arm is on.
Oh,
he
pulled it out.
So that's the danger of standing up, because now a person can grab your arm. Now they can use all their weight and gravity to break that arm down. Let's see, let's take it one more time.
The upper body goes Mica Galvao. Could have the armbar here.
And there. Once he realizes that Dante stands up, he's gonna reach up high to break up the posture. And then he's going right for the wrist to make it easier for him to use his entire body weight to actually extend that arm out. He even grabs, if you saw it right there, he grabs the inside of the palm and bends the wrist back. So there.
Your fist.
Whenever, like, I'm not sure if I mentioned this last time, but whenever you can bend the person's wrist when they're defending arm bars, it's going to be a lot easier to break any grips that they have.
Physically hoists Mica Galvao
Boom, pulls it down, and then he tries
into the air, but he's not.
And then you can see Dante try and step over top of that leg to maybe to try and save himself.
Danger! The arm is on!
Oh,
He
he
gets it
pulled
on!
it out!
Man, Dante Leon just ate a nasty armbar right there.
What an exchange. Mica showing off that technical prowess. Man, I need to watch that again someday.
Back here, the knee cut. Still trying to create frames here. And then once again, Mica tries to bet all his control on that one leg. Underhooks. Grabs his own shin. Extends that leg now. So yeah, you can see right there, he kicks out his far leg. He does it like 3 times, 4 times probably. As he extends his left leg as well and tries to pull back on the heel. Boom, 3 times, 4 times. Gets up. Outside trips, inside trips. Nice escape there. So yeah, whenever you're going for single legs, the person's a good way to actually escape a single leg, especially if they're holding up high, is to turn around like Mica is doing here, like Mica does, and do like a runaway escape. He turns and kicks that leg up. Yeah. Oh. So he tries to peel off. Yeah, so he tries that snap down, causes Dante to go off balance, and then Mica tries to snatch a guillotine, or at least clasp his hands like he's going for a guillotine. Dante notices this, immediately raises his head. Whenever you raise your head when someone's going into a guillotine, it makes it a lot more difficult to actually get caught in it. Just because the person's elbow is a lot higher, they can't generate enough force. They need to bring that elbow down and then use maybe either the squeeze or the back extension to try and finish. But Mica realizes this, knows he's in danger of being taken down, so he lets go. And then decides to go for butterfly guard. So yeah, still same. Going back to the same position. It looks like he really likes this half guard knee shield position. Really trying to control Dante's forearm, making sure it doesn't go either over top of his head or starts pushing his shoulders back. See, right there. And then underneath again. Trying to invert underneath. Ooh. What was that? I can't see what type of grip he has on that leg. Oh, just a monkey grip it looks like. I can't see the positioning of his arm. Just trying to get a bit slower. He pushes the head to make the legs a bit easier to get to. He extends his right leg here to lift the hips, to lift Dante's hips. And tries to... it's an interesting one. Right, tries to really hook that right leg of Dante's with both arms. You can see he's using his knee. Mica's using his right knee to frame across Dante's hip. And then there we go. He shifts his hips and gets underneath the leg now. Outside 50-50, no. So you can see, at least in this position, that Mica's trying to pinch his head to Dante's ear. Sorry, to Dante's foot. This just allows him a little bit of control so that Dante can't start like rotating from his knee or his ankle. And extending, standing. Dante's doing a good job of not letting this left leg get underneath him as well, because then Mica can start probably attacking a knee bar if he wanted to, if he kept it inverting towards the outside there. Legs extended. Boom. Single X position. I think that Dante there tried to initiate a back step. Yeah, so Mica's pulling down on his head, making the hips a lot lighter. And then extends, and then that's where he's trying to go for that back step, maybe trying to get over top of that leg. But very difficult if a person has sticky feet. and then boom, inverts once again, trying to get that that right leg. Let's here. Is he gonna? He goes back towards the inside. So you can see, like, I'm not sure if it's because Dante likes passing on this side or Mica's forcing him to pass on this side. Normally a person will pick their better side to try and direct someone into. Of course, at the higher levels, people can go from passing to one side to passing on the other. But eventually, if you see all their matches, they tend to do the same things over and over again. So it's probably because Mica likes when people pass on towards his right side. Now you can actually set up better attacks from here, because whenever Dante tries to step in, he's really trying to grab that right leg. Grabbing. If you're gonna play a lot of half guard, you have to be ready to be grinded. It's not a guard that you can. It's not a guard that you will get right away. You're gonna have to take some beatings to actually know how to effectively pull off your techniques in this position. Especially because if a person is really good at knee cutting, really good at controlling your head, shifting the weight from side to side, making it difficult for you to establish any form of control with your knees, with your forearms. You're just gonna end up losing a lot of the time, like losing the position a lot of the time. And like I said, you're really just gonna have to grind it out to be able to play a type of half guard. Oh. Reset back towards the middle. I think that's that's what a lot of Brazilians are taught, like going from a very calm and like not a lot of movement into really big explosive movements to create a reaction in someone. That was basically what the commentators were talking about. I've seen it in a lot of different competitions, the higher level black belts, especially from Brazil. They change up the speed of their techniques, so it could be just trying to go a bit easier, and then at one moment, boom, trying to explode and get the technique going or create a reaction. 6 minutes now. I wonder how long this is. 40 minutes. This is actually more demoralizing, I think, for Dante than it is for Mica. Because if you're trying your hardest to really pass someone's guard, especially half guard, and they're just stopping you the entire time, it gets just demoralizing that it feels like there's always gonna be some wall up against you. Either it's a leg, either it's a forearm, or the person just inverts and then they're behind you suddenly. Ooh, underneath. Back to the crab ride. Oh. So let's take it back. So once again, underhooks, inverts to try and get underneath the hips. You can see that he's trying to load him up onto his thigh and then really pull himself underneath Dante's hips. And then this position here, because Dante's hips are turned away from Mica, he's trying to turn his upper body, take that right knee out to face him again. Okay, Mica does a good job by putting that right leg right behind the knee, so it makes it a lot more difficult to actually turn it towards him. And then that left leg is pushing out that far hip. He's grabbing that left right behind the left calf, it seems like. Yeah, and kicking out both sides, so it makes it difficult for Dante to actually turn back into him. And realizing that he doesn't really have anything, he lets go and tries to establish a guard again. Underneath again. Ooh. Deep breaths. Nice. So yeah, that's good sportsmanship there. When you see you're gonna take your your opponent outside the ring and letting them get back in, especially if there's people on the outside, like the outside corners there. You honestly, you don't want to really hurt anyone by like pushing them into chairs or into spectators, because then you're gonna hurt the spectators, right? You see that a lot more, at least I see that a lot more in say hello. Come on. No? Okay. Anyways, I forgot what I was saying. Nice. So you can see that time when he was trying to do the runner escape, when Mica was trying to do that runner escape, at single leg around the knee, Dante goes down to grab the heel and sort of twist the heel upwards, right? So now the entire shin, the entire femur here, is almost at the same parallel angle as the hip. Okay, making it very difficult for someone to stop a takedown or even like try and turn away from you. Right? Now some people like to finish with a sweep, like with a leg sweep as well. So let's take it slower. Oopsie. So here we go, double leg, switches to a single, lifting that heel nice and high. Right? Mica's gonna extend that knee, and then right around here, some people try to kick that leg out, either by the inside trip or outside trip. He turns around to try that runner escape. Dante realizes this and tries to chase him back to get around his hips, right? Boom, right there. So he lets go to try and really chase the back there. Mica's fast enough to actually turn back towards him. And then into a half guard. An old school half guard. So this half guard compared to the one Mica's normally been playing, you can see his thigh is actually all the way underneath Dante's hips. Right, the other leg, the lock, the triangle lock, is actually going to be on the outside part of the hips, of Dante's hips. Okay. This is a half guard people like try and develop first. This is a half guard I learned. I'm pretty sure if you've trained for a little while, you've definitely done this half guard, right? But because you're in this position, right, you can see that Dante's left leg is right up next to Mica's hip, right? It makes it very difficult to actually start turning your hips underneath unless you got a underhook to help support it. So that's why people play a lot of knee shield half guards now, because at least then you have the option of extending your legs and trying to move your hips, whereas here, because the person's sitting on that thigh, it makes it very difficult to actually move the hips. So yeah, you can see it's not a triangle lock, but he's just locking on the outside. And there we go. There, he transfers over to a butterfly hook instead. That's gonna be more new school there. This allows him to lift the hip up and get some of that weight off of his right hip. like I said, very grindy. He's using his forearm right across the face. But that's what you gotta do, really. If a person's trying to pass your guard, this is what you're gonna do in tournaments. In the gym, I would probably say no, don't do this. In a tournament, like these guys, professionals, go for it. I'm just saying you're not gonna make any friends doing this. But you don't need to make friends in competition. Yeah, and you can see he's like wrenching his arm back too. That just sucks. I don't know what else I can say. That just sucks. And then there we go. So once again, I think this is gonna go to the judge's decision. Dante now, instead of controlling the leg here, instead of controlling the foot, he's overhooking that leg. Boom. Ooh. Mica goes back to that position. I don't even know what that position's called. I'll play it. I don't know what it's called. That can happen. That's alright. There's not a lot. I'll say he used up a lot of his gas tank just really trying to pass the guard, so the fact that he wasn't immediately swarming is understandable. Ooh. So you can see that turn I was talking about before, that big turn as the shoulders go around, that throws Dante's weight forward, and Mica goes for that outside trip. So I think he tries to trips this leg. Here comes the turn. You can see he's loading him up. He puts his right leg forward, gives Dante that space to fall. He pushes to try and get a reaction of that pushback. And then underhooks the shoulder. So I think he has an underhook and a head tie. Can't really see that forearm right now. And then as he turns those shoulders, the leg comes in. Oh, no, he goes for that inside trip. You can see. So let's check it one more time. Boom. Nice. But Dante immediately tries to turn that into a takedown himself. It's weird listening to this guy super slow. So there we saw, I mean, Mica tried that hook on the inside now. Maybe try and throw up a heel hook in that position. I don't know how effective that is. So you can see he inverts, he uses that right leg underneath like the right ankle, right? And then you see he has that heel hook position, at least that heel hook grip. Really, I just don't see a lot of control that you can exert with the leg there and try and finish a submission from that position. But maybe he's just using it to create a reaction. Then butterfly guard. Ooh. So you can see Mica here has his left arm going through right underneath the knee, bringing across his right leg and hooking right there. It's gonna be a tough position to finish, tough submission to finish, especially because the shin is right against her crotch here. Yeah. He's pulling, really trying to create that, like, either one, trying to use his forearms to crush Dante's calf, or trying to really, if the knee is like this, he's really trying to create that space in between the forearm and not the forearm, but the top of the thigh and the femur, to like break the knee apart like this. And that's the reason you have the forearm underneath the knee. And then Dante's trying to go for his own straight ankle lock at the same time. I think Mica won this one. Yeah. I think that armbar attempt is what actually gave him. It was at the start of the match too, so not much you can do there. Let's go back to the camera. So yeah, that was Mica Galvao versus Dante Leon. I think this happened like a few weeks ago. So it was good, really good to see. really interested to see how Mica used that guard with the hook, with his arm hooking underneath the ankle, the leg on the outside. Maybe I should try working on it this upcoming week. See if I can find anything from there. But yeah, that was it. Hopefully you guys are checking this out and learning a little bit about what's the higher level grapplers try and do. Yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching. It's already been almost an hour, I think. An hour. Yeah, more than an hour. I promised that I would try and take this underneath an hour, but no luck. Anyways, once again, thank you to the new subscribers that have been subscribing over the past couple months. I'll be trying to do technique videos again sometime soon. I'll be doing these ones a bit more regularly, like at least once a week on Saturdays. The time will change depending on like what my schedule is and like what I'm doing that day. So, but at least I'll be trying to do these on Saturdays. These study sessions on Saturdays. Also, am I working on anything recently? No, but you can check out my website. I post up my stretching and recovery classes on there. You can check out the free playlist I have on YouTube. Right now I have 3 videos out that I did all last year. I still have another, I'd say 8, maybe 12 or 13 videos that I need to edit and just put on YouTube. Eventually, I'm gonna be releasing each one every month, so if you guys are looking for some stretches that you can do either before the class or like stuff you can do at home, so that you can just maintain good flexibility and good dexterity in your limbs after either you train Brazilian Jiu-jitsu or any type of sport, then yeah, I suggest looking at those. And yeah, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the match. I definitely did. Learned a little bit, and I'm gonna be trying it out this upcoming week. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you soon.